Hi guys! So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the chapter 6, which is the principles of teaching are based on the principle of learning. So there are three topics of this principle. Number 1, principles of learning and teaching. Number 2, theory and research-based principles of learning. And number 3, principles of learning. So in principles are the basis in stimulating, directing, guiding, and encouraging teachers in their teaching and learners in their learning. So those bases in principles, they are used as guides in making teaching and learning activities effective and productive. So now let's talk about the first topic, which is the principle of learning and teaching. So in this principles, it is all about the learning and teaching that is based on what is valued about the learning environment schools should provide, and contemporary research and professional knowledge about how learning can be supported. First is the opportunity to learn. Learning experiences give learners the chance to observe and practice the actual processes, products, skills, and values which are expected of them. So through learning experiences of the students, it will give them a chance to observe and practice the actual processes. So with that, they can have a better understanding. So the student can understand the ideas better through meaningful engagement activities. Next is the connection and challenge. Learning experiences should connect with the learner's existing knowledge, skills, and values as they extend and challenge their current ways of thinking and acting. And sa connection challenge, yung learning experiences dapat connect ng mga students doon sa existing knowledge, skills, and values na meron yung estudyante or meron kami. So, let's say we have a challenge or problem. We have current problem. I have current problem. So, malalaman ko na successful yung learnings ko if yung challenge na binigay sa akin or na meron ako or problem na meron ako is na-apply ko doon sa kung anong meron ako and na-apply ko siya or na-connect ko siya doon sa knowledge na meron ako ngayon. So, malalaman mo din dito if the teaching methods of teacher is effective, if there's a connection, if there's a established connection doon sa learners' present knowledge, skills, and values, and also if the learners can be or if the students are able to define if the experience or knowledge is consistent ba or is there conflict with the existing knowledge that they have. Learning experiences should be meaningful and encourage both action and reflection on the part of the learner. So, sa action and reflection naman, yung learning experiences ng mga students should be meaningful and encourage both action and reflection of the students. So, yung learnings daw ng students is na-enhance siya, mas ma-enhance siya if the students or the learners is engages actively in a task at hand. So, basically in here, yung if the students is engaging themselves doon sa mga activities, sa mga tasks, then mas ma-enhance pa yung learning and mas madadagdagan pa yung learning experiences and knowledge na meron sila. Next is the motivation and purpose. Learning experiences should be motivating and their purpose clear to the learners. They should be provided with the purposeful and relevant, stimulating, and challenging activities which are goal-oriented. Goals which may require more attention and time and effort to meet their needs. So, dito naman sa motivation and purpose, yung learning experiences naman ng mga student should be motivating and at the same time, dapat clear din yung purpose to the students. So along with that, dapat yung activities is challenging but at the same time is goal-oriented in which the activities must be planned for the learner's enjoyment and be adapted to their level of maturity. In inclusivity and difference, so dito naman, yung students, we should give them a respect regardless sa languages na ginagamit nila, the culture that they have, the health, the status of their health, location, the values that they have, or if they have disabilities, we should respect those people. We should respect each other rather. And that's why teaching should give a room for diversity. It should be adaptive. It should be adaptive, accommodating, and respecting where diverse background is concerned. Since we are different, we are all different, hayaan natin yung ibang, if the students have different culture, then let them be how they cope up with the environment for them. If the environment is different from them, then let them be whatever they want to do. Like the way they think na matututo sila, if they prefer to work independently or collaboratively, let's let them be. Just let them be, guys. Next is independence and collaboration. Learning experiences should encourage students to learn both independently and with others. So, dito naman sa independence and collaboration, yung learning experiences daw ng student, dapat in-encourage yung student na matuto both independently and with others. Kasi ang kagandahan naman na matuto by your own or working individually is really necessary for you to understand, and it will help you to ensure your personal understanding of concepts, processes, and skills. But at the same time, maganda rin naman matuto with other people kasi nag-share kayo ng thoughts, nagbibigayan kayo ng ideas. So, in that way, mas madadagdagan yung knowledge na meron kayong dalawa. Kasi, you are both discussing something and it involves the students in explaining ideas to others and clarify these ideas for themselves. So, additionally, as a student, hindi ka lang din matututo sa teachers mo or sa mga classmates mo, but also from your family and community members and the people from other parts of the world, since alam naman natin na yung technology is readily accessible for us. So, in that way, mas makakatulong sa atin para ma-appreciate natin and ma-value natin yung life experiences, and at the same time, to see things from different perspectives and understand the culture of other people and be critical of others' point of view. And last, for the principles of learning and teaching, a supportive environment. The school and classroom setting should be safe and conducive to effective learning. So, yung sa supportive environment naman, dapat yung school or classroom is safe for the student, and also dapat good for the effective learning din siya for the student. At saka, yung school and classroom dapat mag-provide sila ng mga cooperative atmosphere which is free from harassment such as teasing, sarcasm, or remarks that is stereotype or denigrate learners or their efforts. So, additionally, the differences and diversity are respected too, and sensitivity is shown no matter of gender, cultural differences, social class, ability and disability, family circumstance, and individual difference. And also, sa supportive learning environment, it should provide fair access to the use of all available resources. Let's say space or print equipment and other useful technology, regardless of your social class, or if you have disability, dapat pantay-pantay kayong gagamit ng print equipment. Hindi ibig sabihin na mayaman ka, ikaw lang yung may karapatan gumamit ng print equipment sa school. Dapat sa school, dapat yung school is mag-provide siya ng fair access of all the technology or resources that is available. And now, let's move on to our next topic, which is the theory and research-based principles of learning. So, the following list presents the basic principles that underlie effective learning of principles are distilled from research from a variety of disciplines. So first we have learners' prior knowledge can help or hinder learning. Students get into courses with knowledge, beliefs, and attitudes gained in others' courses and even through daily life. So, dito naman sa prior knowledge, yung prior knowledge ng student, pwede siyang makatulong or pwede din siyang maka-interfere sa learning ng student. So, let's say, whatever knowledge the student has serves as filter on kung paano niya ito may interpret dun sa current learning, then, for that reason, yung prior knowledge ng students is, if the prior knowledge of students is used at the appropriate time, it can help the student to add to what has been stored in his knowledge. And then, however, if the knowledge is inaccurate or inefficient for the task that he's been doing, then it may affect the learning, it may interfere the learning of the student. Next is how learners organize knowledge influences how they learn and apply what they know. Students naturally make connections between pieces of knowledge. If the students naturally make connections between pieces of knowledge, so students naturally make connection between pieces of knowledge. So when those connections form knowledge structures that are accurately and meaningfully organized, it will make students better and they are able to retrieve and apply their knowledge effectively and efficiently. Alam naman natin yan, kapag may motivation tayo, mas lalo nating pinagbubutihan kasi meron tayong goal. And the more na may nagmo-motivate tayo sa atin, the more na mas na-achieve natin yung goals natin. That's why motivation is really important role in setting for the direction, in intensity, and persistence. Kasi kapag alam na natin sa sarili natin, kapag goal tayo, persistent tayo na gawin yung bagay na yun. Persistent tayo na makuha yung goal natin yun. Ma-achieve yung goals natin na yun. Next is to develop mastery. Learners must acquire component skills, practice integrating them, and know when to apply what they have learned. Students must develop not only the component skills and knowledge necessary to perform complex tasks, but must also practice combining and integrating them to develop greater fluency and automaticity. So here, hindi lang natin dapat dire-develop yung component skills natin and knowledge natin, but we should combine it para mas madali na lang. With that, pag na-practice natin yung both skills and knowledge na yon, pag in practice we combining it and integrating them, we can develop the greater fluency and automaticity. So basically, mas mapapadali na lang sa atin yung task kasi alam na nga natin yung skills and at the same time, meron pa tayong knowledge about it. So, alam na natin, ma-execute na natin and maalam na natin kung paano natin i-apply yung skills na yon and knowledge doon sa natutunan natin. Next is the goal-directed practice coupled with targeted feedback enhances the quality of students' learning. Learning and performance are best achieved when students engage in practice that focuses on a specific goal or criterion. If the students are engaging themselves in practicing or in the activities or in the task, doon that na nagpo-focus sa iisang goal, sa specific goal, or they are having a target criteria, then mas ma-achieve nilang mga students yung learnings and magandang performance. Dahil nga meron silang goals, since meron silang iisang goals, meron silang specific standard na tinitinan kung paano nila makukuha yung good performance and gaining knowledge and learning from it. And now let's proceed to our last topic, which is the principles of learning. The following are principles which will serve to determine and evaluate the motivation of learners. Number 1, learning is an experience which occurs inside the learner and is activated by the learner. Learning takes place when the learner allows it to happen in his mind. So basically here, kung ayaw ng student matuto or kung gusto ng student matututo siya. And if the student don't want to learn, then hindi siya matututo kasi yun yung gusto niya eh. 'Di ba? Hindi naman natin mapipilit, hindi naman yung teacher magdi-decide sa'yo na matuto ka. It's still up to you. Kung gusto, at some point, gusto ng teacher na matuto ka, pero it's still up to you. It's still up to the student if he wants to learn. 'Di ba? Learners is discovery of the personal meaning and relevance of ideas. Learners can easily understand concepts if these are relevant to their needs and problems. So, this principle is somewhat the same with principle number 1. Yung mga student is mas madali nilang maiintindihan yung concept if it is relevant to their needs and their problems. Kapag meron siyang connect sa kailangan or sa problems ng isang student. So, the lesson must relate to the learner's needs, interests, and problem. So, dito naman, sinasabi dito yung mga students daw is mas matututo sila and better if yung lessons are anchored on the past experiences. So, in here, it's just a matter of enhancing the knowledge on how they resolve the problem. Kasi, since meron ka ng experience, alam mo na how it feels like. Alam mo na kung paano gagalawan. Alam mo na kung ano yung possible solutions doon sa problem na yon. So, that's why mas mapapadali lang, mas matututo yung students kapag yung lessons is anchored doon sa past experience nila. Next is a learning cooperative and collaborative process. Learners will learn more if they are given chances to work together and share ideas. So, totoo naman, yung students is mas matututo siya kapag may siyang partner since merong two brains na nagbe-brainstorm. Ang masama, wala kayong brain. Hindi. Yun nga. So, maganda siya kasi nag-share kayo ng ideas and thoughts. And with that, nakakapagbigay ka na ng ideas and your thoughts. And nakakapagbigay ka sa kanila ng knowledge. And at the same time, nagigain ka rin ng ideas and thoughts and the knowledge. Nakakadagdag sa'yo. 'Di ba? And it's like a brainstorming. Hindi naman lahat ng bagay alam mo. Merong things na alam niya na hindi mo alam and meron things na alam mo na hindi niya alam. So, it's really nice to share ideas with your partner. Learning is an evolutionary process. Learning, especially if this means a change in behavior, does not happen in an instant. This requires time and diligence. So, sa learning, hindi naman agad-agad natututunan mo yung isang bagay. Siyempre, it takes time and effort for you to learn something. Kailangan mo ng time, enough time para matuto and enough effort para matuto sa isang bagay. Hindi naman instant na kapag tinuro sa'yo agad-agad is matututo ka na. So, yan. Talagang magpasalamat tayo sa teachers natin na kahit papano tinuturuan tayo, ginagawa nila yung best nila para maintindihan natin yung isang lessons na hindi natin naiintindihan, 'di ba? Thank you, sir. Learning is sometimes a painful process. This means that learning requires sacrifice, hard work, and study time. I think this principle is bagay siya sa college student because this principle learning requires sacrifices, hard work, and study time. Oh, let's say sa sacrifices in a term of you have a LDR boyfriend and then that time you wanna go out, that time you have a date and you cannot go kasi meron kayong classes, you have sudden class, you have emergency class and then but that date, pero yung date niyan is nakalaan para sa date yung dalawa and then you sacrifice the date, like you waited for so long and then it got canceled because of the class, diba? So yeah, you really need sacrifices and hard work also and the study time. So this learning involves painstaking efforts to recognize and analyze and understand. So, bago mo maintindihan yung isang lesson, kailangan mo muna mag-hard work o kailangan mo muna mag-study, sacrifice yung all things para mag-study, para maintindihan mo yung lessons na hindi mo naiintindihan. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bagay is isusubo sa'yo ng teacher. You need to learn in your own, di ba? Next is one of the richest resources of learning is the learning himself. The discussion should be drawn not only on the experiences of teachers but also on the learner's experiences. So, yung pinaka-center ng learning is the learners. So, wala namang learning kung wala namang learners, diba? So, sa discussion, it's not all about the experiences of the teacher but also on the student experiences too. Kailangan pa rin makinig ng teachers doon sa students nila and let the students share their prior knowledge. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bagay alam ng teacher natin eh. Meron at meron pating bagay or stories or information na hindi alam ng teacher natin, na alam natin. So, kailangan every discussion, dapat meron pa rin talagang interaction between the teachers and the students. And in that way, the free sharing inside the classroom is encouraged. The process of learning is emotional as well as intellectual. Learners cannot learn that much if they are bothered, arising from problems in or out of the classroom. So, kapag may problema yung students, let's say, meron silang problem sa bahay nila, sa girlfriend and boyfriend nila, then the students cannot learn that much if there's something bothering them. So, the teacher should be sensitive to the students' problems too. Hindi matututo yung students if they are having a problem, or let's say they're having a family problem. If the student having a problem in or out of the classroom, or let's say the student is having a family problem, then he cannot focus on the class. The student cannot learn that much if there's something bothering them because they can't focus. So the teacher should be sensitive to the students' problems. Kasi malayin ba natin kung sobrang sensitive pala ng problem niya, di ba? And naging insensitive yung teacher. So dapat yung teacher is maging aware siya sa mga students emotionally, para alam din niya kung paano i-approach yung student niya. The process of problem solving and learning is highly unique and individual. The use of different teaching strategies that can cater multiple intelligence and learning styles are highly recommended. So with the use of different teaching strategies, mas makukuha ng teacher yung attention ng isang estudyante. Kasi meron talaga tayong teacher na sobrang boring magturo. At sa sobrang boring, parang kahit anong pilit mong maggumising, talagang aantukin at aantukin ka. Kahit anong pilit mong gustong matuto doon sa subject na yun, if the teacher is boring magturo, talagang walang mangyayari sa'yo. Talagang aantukin ka. Pero, ang maganda dyan, meron talagang mga teacher na gumagawa sila ng paraan kung paano makukuha yung attention ng students nila para matuto. Kasi the more na mas enjoyable yung subject mo, mas madaming makikinig sa'yo, mas makukuha mo yung attention nila kapag jolly ka magturo and you have different teaching strategies, 'di ba? So that's why it's really highly recommended para sa mga estudyanteng mabilis ma-boring.